Fifth Quarter Living movement, it's not a fad, it's a lifestyle. And when you live by it, life just starts to like put things in your direction. It seems like it just happens overnight, but it's not. It's because you're taking the necessary steps to move forward, which is allowing what's waiting for you to get closer to you, right? So it's not moving. What you want is not moving to you. You're moving to it, but because you're taking the necessary steps day to day, right? And you're living in this Fifth Quarter Living movement, you get there in record time. I'm telling you, listen, I want to slow down because I want to make sure you get this, and I don't want to fumble as I go through it, right? Because in my mind, it's racing. See, because I live by it every day. So for me to say it to you, I'll say it faster than I normally would say it. Why? Because it's in my mind, I'm jumping 5 steps ahead and I'm trying to get it all out to you in a short period of time in this video, right? So I want to make sure that I take it real slow and you get this. I want you to write down at the top of your paper, being uncomfortable equals growth, right? And what I want you to do is I want you to make this a part of your everyday life. Like every day, I want you to wake up and I want you to write down uncomfortable equals growth. Uncomfortable equals growth. When you're sitting there and you feel like you're bored, write down uncomfortable equals growth. When you're sitting and you're like watching TV and the commercial come down, uncomfortable equals growth, uncomfortable equals growth, uncomfortable equals growth. And write it down to the point to where you say it so much that when you're asleep, you think about being uncomfortable. You start to become excited about being uncomfortable because you know every time you walk into a situation and you're uncomfortable, you know when you walk out, you're gonna be a whole new person. See, if you don't go through a point of being uncomfortable, then you're not gonna grow. I don't care what you're doing in your life, right? Listen to me. Listen, I'm telling you, man, when I was 35 and I went back and I got my GED and I dropped out of school at 18. So from 18 to 35, I walked in the classroom, right, to go take a test. See, listen, I was so uncomfortable just knowing that I had to study. I was so uncomfortable knowing I'm looking at material that I don't have a clue on what's going on. Like, I ain't seen this. Like, when's the last time I seen, 35 minus A equals Z? Like, bro, I don't understand that the numbers and the letters mixed together. It's been so long since I looked at it. I was more uncomfortable than ever before. When they told me I had to write a paragraph, I had to write a whole report. Like, bro, I ain't wrote a report in so long. I wasn't writing them in school. Why? Because I was uncomfortable then and I was scared to ask for help. Listen, man, when I studied, when all I did was jump into that book and I sat there many a times and I closed the book and I was frustrated and I'm like, man, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this. This is crazy. I'm the oldest dude in this class and I'm sitting here. Why didn't I just do it then? And I keep coming up with all this other stuff on, why did I do it this time? Why did I waste time in class? Why do I need this now, right? And I'm coming up with all of these things. What it was is I was uncomfortable because I was being challenged. And what I normally did when I was younger is I would walk away from the challenge like, yo, I'm done, I'm not gonna do it. I couldn't do that no more. I had to face these things, and I'm telling you, when I got to the point and I went in there after studying for weeks for this test, when I went in there and I smashed each one of these tests the first time around, listen, man, I wasn't uncomfortable anymore. I was comfortable and I was focused and I was ready to conquer whatever it was that was in front of me. I'm telling you, when you get to that point, when you feel like you want to quit, when you get to the point and you feel like you want to give up, it's only because you're uncomfortable doing what you're doing. You would go into anything, and if someone just told you, yo, I promise you you're going to make it, and it was guaranteed you're going to pass the test, if it was guaranteed you're going to win the contest, you would go into it like excited about it. But because you're not sure and you're uncomfortable, you do one or two things. You walk away or you go ahead and you face being uncomfortable. When you face being uncomfortable, you will grow every time. I want you to be careful though, right? Because listen, I talked about it like months back, last year sometime, about a danger zone, right? Listen to me. The danger zone comes in when you get to a point where you're uncomfortable, you become comfortable again, right? And then you get uncomfortable and you get comfortable again, and that's where the growth comes in. But you get to a point where you not only become comfortable, but you become content. You become happy with where you are. You become satisfied with where you are. You got to a point of, okay, I went from an F student to a C student. I'm cool right there. I'm just gonna do this and maintain the C. No, that's garbage. That's garbage. You are in the most dangerous place that you could be in your life. I want you to understand that when you go to school, school isn't just to teach you history and teach you science because that's what they want to teach you. Listen, when you go, school is to challenge you to be uncomfortable. School is to put you in a position where you begin to understand, like, man, I was uncomfortable going into this English class because maybe my spelling was screwed up or my reading was bad or I just couldn't write right. I didn't know where to put my commas in. I didn't know where to put the quotes. I didn't know how to do any of it. Listen, what it's getting you ready for is it's getting you ready for life. Because in life, you will have to repeat the same process. You will be comfortable, and then you have to get uncomfortable. And when you're uncomfortable, you grow. And I need you to keep repeating that. And if you become a master at repeating, if you become a master at convincing yourself that every time you're uncomfortable, you will grow, life will change for you. $86,400 seconds. Use it wisely with someone